What's good with it in the hood with it? What's up, gente? As you can tell by this video right here that I'm reacting to, this is Kai the Hitchiker. Now, this guy was brought to my attention a long time ago, a while back. I already knew when I seen this video, one of these days, I said, one of these, God, I was going to react to it. And the reason I wanted to react to this particular video is this bottle right here is what we would label in the real world a baboso. Okay, you guys are going to see in this video right here exactly why I react the way I do, okay, and in that fashion. This guy got to prominence or came to prominence years ago because he actually stopped what he said was an assault. Maybe other things were occurring, I don't know, in Fresno, California. He came to the aid of some citizens. Now, this guy was what was considered to be a hitchhiker, surfboarder, skateboarder, Dogtown, USA, right? All that, sprinkle the wood in, brother. He was a crazy wood. This white guy was different. Okay, when I seen this video the first time, man, this guy reminded me of the type of individual that you see on the streets, off the bull, off the scante, that are just spaced out. They're out there. They're never to come back. What makes this guy so interesting is not only does he use a hatchet in the process of alleviating what was going on, the situation. Later on, he was actually arrested for murder, or he might have even been on the run for murder at the time that he did this. This is the actual factual live interview that the newscast did with him. Be prepared for some ish. Let's get to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Can we talk to you? Do you mind?
What do you want to talk about?
What happened today?
Well, went straight out of Dogtown, skateboarding, surfing it up. Before I say anything else, I want to say no matter what you've done, you deserve respect. Even if you make mistakes, you're lovable. And it doesn't matter your look, skills, or age, or size, or anything, you're worthwhile.
That was the message of the day, straight from Kai the Hitchiker. It's going to get a little bit more elaborate, a little bit more crazy. So make sure that you guys listen with your ears open, because this guy, don't let the face fool you. Don't let the smile fool you. This guy is a vicious individual, allegedly. God, is I don't know. We'll find out.
No one can ever take that away from you. Now, this stuff right here, I was driving and I was in the passenger side of this f***er's car, and he comes over on there. He was over by the recycling center. He says, "Oh, when I was in the Virgin Islands, 30 years old on a business trip, I this 14-year-old." I was like, "You what?" He's like, "I raped this 14-year-old." Starts crying, gives me a big hug. He's like 300-pound guy. I'm like, "Oh shit."
So he got hugged by a 300-pound man after this man told him a heinous story. As you can see by Kai's face right now, if you look at the screen, he wasn't feeling that hug. So that leads me to believe right there that's a point for Kai. Goal! Not guard, goal. That's a goal for him. He obviously doesn't go that way, and I'm going to have to agree with him. Not that that way is bad. I'm just saying over here, we don't go that way. But he's definitely telling the story. Let's hear the story. Seems crazy already.
You must be f***ing, man. Like, what's he talking about? I didn't take him seriously at first. Comes driving down this way. He's like, "You know what? I come to realize I'm Jesus Christ, and I can do anything I f***ing want to." And watch this. Bam! And he smashed into this f***ing guy right there. Pinned him in between that f***ing truck. And so I hop out. I look over, the guy's pinned there. I mean, like, freight train riders know this. Like, if you get pinned between...
Freight train riders, they know what he's talking about. He's talking about some real hobo shit. But even besides that, look at his face. Only a face that a vato abscante would love. Now, trip out on this. He said in so many words that this individual was manifesting some crazy stories and was telling him some crazy stories. So it was at this point Kai the Hitchiker, the hatchet man, is trying to figure out exactly what's going on here. We're going to see how it plays out, because it's definitely, and I mean definitely, going to get better. Listen to this crazy story.
Something, do not f***ing move that shit, otherwise you bleed out. Like, motherfucker, I ran in, I grabbed the keys, he's f***ing sitting there like nothing even happened. And like, f***ing, like, man, if you started driving that car around again, man, there would have been a hell of a lot of bodies around here. F***ing, I hop on out, and so I grabbed the bag, I threw it over by that pole right there, and then f***ing buddy gets out and he's...
Look at the little kids in the back wondering what the hell that guy's doing on the news. Hey, Jefito, is that guy on Scante? I'm telling you something right now, gente. Remember, this was a live interview that they did. Something that was on the news. You hear how many words are beeped out. That's not necessarily what you would see on the live news. But this incident that took place, and as you can see, no one else is concerned. You got a few paisitas in the background. You got people at Taramate right there trying to buy him a little chela. A chela. You got a lot of things going on here when this incident took place. And it's actually it's a more vicious incident than most people thought, because the way that this guy Kai handles it is different. Watch this.
These two women are trying to help him. He runs up and he grabs one of them, man. Like a guy that big can snap a woman's neck like a pencil stick. So I fucking ran up behind him with a hatchet. Smash, smash, smash. Yeah.
The lady.
He said, yeah. That author said he ran up like, huh? Smash? Yeah. Right? This man was not playing. Okay? This bigger 300-pound man went to attack two women. This man pulled out the hatchet on him. A smash, smash, yeah. Right? He did it in a real way. Look at that face right there. Again, only a face of mother that abandoned you and then wanted you back 20 years later with love. Now trip out on this.
Said you saved your life.
She was the one who got grabbed by that fucker. You know what? Is cool. That guy ain't. Shit.
How'd you get in his car? How did you?
I was hitchhiking. Good thing I was hitchhiking. Yeah, people say don't hitchhike. Well, this is what happens. Yeah, well, at least I was here.
So he did this on purpose.
Dude, that guy was fucking cooked out, man.
So basically the guy was on something, right? Or off of something. They say don't pick up hitchhikers. I've heard that a lot of times in my life. Don't pick up hitchhikers, because you got to understand, man, you don't know who you're picking up, what they're carrying, where they're running from, what they're running to. And so I agree with that. But in this case, like Kai says, hey, they say don't pick up hitchhikers, but the hitchhiker was the hero. Or was he? One never knows, does one? Let's hear the rest of his story.
Like, he's beyond howling. Like, I don't even see any breath in him. You know what I'm saying?
Can I get your name and where you're from, if you don't mind?
I'm Kai.
Kai? Can I get spelling for you?
Straight out of Dogtown. K-A-I.
K-A-I. Do you have a last name?
No, bro. I don't have anything.
Where are you from originally? Are you from?
I like that. I like the humbleness in this man. He said straight up, man, I don't have anything. All I have is me, my hatchet, my big old backpack, and some little dog that keeps biting on my ankles that I can't feed. Can you please take him? Guard! Take him! This guy has nothing. But you know what? He's being humble, and he was there to help save women. To help save what could have probably been more something more heinous than what it turned out to be. But let's watch. Now you got to understand, this guy that you're looking at subsequently has been convicted of murder. He now has a special on Netflix. They just did recently a special on him. It's playing now, so you could watch it over there on Netflix. Trip out on it, right? This guy Kai, there was a lot more that led up to a story than just a regular hitchhiker saving the day. It gets better. Watch.
From Fresno area?
Sophia, West Virginia.
No kidding. How old are you?
Look at that face right there. That fool said Sophia, West Virginia. Right?
I can't call it.
Okay. What?
I'll do a crime with that vato. That vato, he's a savage. They said, how old are you? He said, I can't call it. He ain't letting nothing go. That vato right there is solid as they come.
Have you ever experienced anything like today? And what made you take the actions that you did?
That woman was in danger. He just finished what looked like at the time killing somebody. And if I hadn't done that, he would have killed more people. So he's dead. Good.
You ever experienced?
That vato definitely sign me up. Whenever he's going to go do something, that's the guy who I'm rocking with. He said that guy would hurt more people, and he's dead. Then he had his eyes like this. Good. It only gets greater.
Anything like that, Kai?
Well, this one time I was in an orchard and this fucking guy starts beating on this woman who he calls his. So I walked on over and I started smashing him in the head. You see all these teeth marks right here for the camera? Yeah, I started smashing
Again, if your hands look like that, take the R out of them.
him in the head and the teeth, busted out all his teeth. The sheriffs, not the policy enforcers, show up and start they're like, yeah, so what happened? I mean, just give me any old name and just give me old birthday, whatever, just yeah.
What happened today after you obviously freeing out? Were you arrested?
So Kai the Hitchiker definitely is a space cadet, meaning he's out there or on something. But you just never know who can be a hero at any given day. This man definitely seems to, I guess because he's out there roaming the streets, he's out there, hitchhiking, being a hobo, or whatever he's doing. He finds himself in a lot of similar situations where he's had to smash people over the head a few times. Or does he just like to be a head smasher? One never knows, does one. But guard, what we do know, and we're going to say it with our chest, is this guy gets crazier and crazier by the moment. Trip out on this.
So what was the process? What did they do to you when they came out? Obviously, they found out that you did the right thing, but the time that from the accident until now, where have you been?
Well, you started following I cleaned his motherfucking head wide open with a hatchet. He stood up like he was pulled right up, right? And like, I'm like, bro, hey, if you're Jesus Christ, I'll be the Antichrist, man. Like that. And he starts following me off this way, so I figure I'll lure him right away from the crowd. So I'm running off this way. I got a hatchet in one hand, this bag I'm carrying over with another hand. I start running off that way. And so a couple of the people who was bystanders to it came over and told me to stop. And I was like, why stop? And like, the cops are already on their way. I was like, is he back up and doing anything? And somebody said that he was like masturbating in front of this school or whatever this place is.
Look at Kai. He thought he saw a popo or something. That's what looked behind his back quick, huh? It's getting weird. Hey, you know he's an OG. Look at how he has the cigarette in his ear though. They don't do it like that anymore. That's old school 90s shit.
Right here. Yeah.
Were you questioned by police? Were you taken into custody? What happened? I mean, obviously.
I was questioned. I was put into the back of the sheriff's wagon. Wasn't the policies that pulled I over? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, I got put in the back of the sheriff's wagon. The sheriff was like, "What happened here?" He took down a statement.
Spencer, Kai has the burpees.
Told him everything I just told you, and let me on out. Said I couldn't grab all this stuff until I had finished, like they had finished with something. You know what I mean? And like brought me back on over here so I could be in front of this thing, like this car right here. It's gnarly, man. Holy shit! It's like the biggest wave I've ever ridden in my life.
He compares beating a man in the back of his head with the hatchet to the biggest wave he ever rode in his life. Who would have thunk it? One never knows, does one?
What's next for you, Kai?
Hopefully some surfing. If anybody's watching this somewhere else and they got a mini mile that they could lend a guy with a wetsuit, I'd love to test out Mavericks.
Would you do it again?
Club him in the head with a hatchet? You know, if I could go back in time, I'd go back over to where I was at that recycling center and he said that he had raped that chick over in the Virgin Islands, because it doesn't matter where you at. You can just spend a bunch of money and do whatever the you want, you know, that's not right. If I could go back in time, I would have dabbed him up right there.
That's a real one. That's a real one if I ever seen him. Kai is as real as they get. He said, I would have dabbed him up right there. Dabs. He's not playing, man. This guy is different. They made a documentary about him. Like I said, and we're going to leave it like there. Subsequently, since then, he's been arrested for murder. So he wasn't just talking to talk. This is the type of individual that, although he seems like he does things for good reasons and he might be on a great one, he's definitely not no one to reckon with, because you see the look in his eyes. He handles business and then just keeps on pressing. If anyone got a wetsuit that they can lend Ty, I don't think he'll be needing it right now because he's locked up in prison for a very long time. But after, when he gets out, hook a brother up. You know, I'm going to sprinkle the woods in. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this short but lucrative reaction video to Kai the Hitchiker, man. Again, he has his own documentary that just came out a few days ago. I'm going to watch it right now as soon as I'm done on Netflix. Go tap in with that. I think this was the most funniest ever live interview done with somebody. Streets of Fresno, man. You never know what you're going to get. It's crazy out there. Kai the Hitchiker. He did that. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this and you move with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about struggling and striving for your family and doing what you does. Don't pick up a hitchhiker because you might end up with a split skull and minus a wetsuit. This is the gun. Bang, bang. I react a little.